All right. Hello,
Welcome
everyone.
to our podcast. We totally didn't record this before, and the audio messed up. What? Us? Never. Welcome to our first podcast. We are two amateurs.
We are too professional for that.
No, totally. We are 100% professional.
Totally.
Don't even worry about it.
Totally.
Welcome to iCheese.
Yeah.
The
mental health
are
podcast.
a mental health podcast. Welcome.
Welcome. All right.
As the professionals we are, we prepared some questions for you guys that we're going to go over.
Yeah.
So why don't we just go ahead and jump right into that? First question we have is, what sort of negative effects has COVID had on our own mental health? Joe, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
I'll start. All right. So, what it has done to my own mental health personally is that, it's taken its toll. Like, I genuinely think that I have a pretty strong mental health, and I just really think that I do. But even COVID has taken on my mental health, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people's mental health too, just because of how much stress and how careful we have to be.
Yeah, I think for me it's been really interesting. For me, I moved out during COVID, so it was quite a bit of a transition for me, and trying to figure out my routines and everything. I think it was really stressful. I think worrying about all these extra things of what I don't know what's happening today, and unless I'm working, there's nothing to do. I can't go out and go to the store to try and occupy myself. So then I'm just left to my own thoughts, and that can be really, really stressful for me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Right. Let us.
Have we had anything positive to gain from this lockdown? Personally, no. I feel like I have nothing. Well, except for, actually. So, it made us as a community, as humans, and just everyone in general, be more careful and aware of each other. It's kind of sad also, because it shows that we didn't care for each other until like a huge pandemic happened. But I'm glad that people are.
I think it's just it's genuinely worrisome that how close the lack of being able to be close to people physically has made us.
Yeah.
I think it's genuinely. Like Joe was saying, it's worrisome that it took that much. And what happens when this pandemic is over? Then all of a sudden we go back to normal, and we go back to being isolated within ourselves in today's world. I find it interesting almost that I've almost noticed that people that would normally cling to social media are becoming bored of it almost, in that they crave actual human interaction, and I find that highly interesting.
And honestly, I think it's just because it just shows, like, after it takes away like all contact with contact with other people, it shows you how much you actually lost during that. Like, you can barely talk to anyone without worrying.
You don't know what you're missing until you don't have it.
Deadly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it's ironic because everyone's become closer during a time where we were closer. We're closer now than we were before the pandemic, and
part of me hopes that we don't lose that post-pandemic, that we don't lose this closeness that we have, this connection that we have, of this commonality that we're all struggling in this in our own ways. But I guess time will tell if this pandemic even ends ever, frankly.
Yeah, it honestly does. It just time will tell.
Indeedly so.
Indeed.
What new challenges do we face in this impending time? That's quite an interesting question. I think that we face. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The Canadian is coming out. I keep apologizing. New challenges that we face.
Honestly, I feel like we face, as our mental health, it's been way worse. Like everyone's in general.
Yeah, I think it really has a super negative effect in a lot of cases of people are losing people that are important to them, that frankly COVID has claimed lives, and it really affects people's mental health negatively that way. It isolates us. I know for me, I recently moved, so it's trying to find a way to socially interact that way, where I don't know how to meet new people, I don't know how to meet new friends, and COVID is making it that much harder and that much more isolating.
Yeah, and like how do you interact people? Like it genuinely begs the question, like when this does end, if it ever will, like how do we interact with people after that? Do we like what do we say?
Yeah,
we don't have much to say.
It's COVID has both brought us closer together in this commonality, but it also is truly making this almost apocalyptic world where we don't know how to interact with each other, because you can't just like bring your neighbor cookies, for example, and say, "Hi neighbor, nice to meet you." Like that's not a thing. You can't do that. And
well, only Canadians did that.
This is true.
Only Canadians.
To be fair, I did 100% bake cookies for Christmas and give them out. So to my
yeah, only Canadians do that. If we did that in Texas, aimed at her head for even knocking.
Oh my. Yeah, no, that must be just me that I got. Yeah. I am special after all. My cheeks are hurting from smiling. That's like the most Canadian thing ever.
That is so Canadian.
Cookies are good though. I made some good cookies.
What cookies
I made some red velvet, some.
Ew.
Don't you me, you. They were good.
Red
Actually, they
velvet
weren't that good. I was really mad when I made them, so I burnt them. I exclusively burn stuff when I'm mad. I don't know why. It's just like purely when I'm mad. I just like can't cook. Otherwise, like I'm a decent cook or baker. Red velvet.
A decent cook.
Walnut chocolate chip. Macadamia nut.
All those fancy
Yeah. What else did I make? Like, you know those ones that are like no bake that you can like put pretzels and like melt chocolate on top of them and like cereal and stuff, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, those. What are called Newfie Snowballs, which is a Canadian cookie, by the way. It's
yeah, I've never.
So what you do is you like mix like some chocolate and some like what you call it, coconut, like shaved coconut or whatever, and then you mix those two and like probably a little bit of like oil or something. I don't remember. and then you wrap a marshmallow in that, and then you roll it again in some more coconut, and then you cool it, obviously, and then you slice them in half because otherwise they're massive. And that's called Newfie Snowball, and they're actually like pretty good. Like you can eat them frozen and they're still good.
Bex, can
I'll send you the recipe.
All right,
Heck
cool.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
I might have to make that one day.
You should. Yeah, and then I made some
anyway.
like double dark chocolate or something cookies too. I think that was the other kind I made. That's all I remember. I made quite a few batches of stuff. I was kind of on a baking craze.
That's crazy.
Yeah. To be fair, I ate like half of them because cookies are delicious. But I gave out the other half.
I bet they are. I mean, cookies are pretty good. So.
They are. Oh god.
Anyways, let's get back
Let
to the
us.
questions.
All right.
All right, so how do we think the vaccine will work? Will it restore order in this world?
That is also a very good question. I think part of me really worries about the vaccine. I worry about whether or not it's going to work. I worry about the fact that people have gotten COVID before and because the virus has mutated, they've been able to get it twice, which is genuinely worrisome. So I genuinely worry if this vaccine is going to work. And if it is working, how do we get it out to everyone? I know right now they're prioritizing, what do you call it, workers? Words.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
I know what